Welcome back. You're watching The Money Show, where we are marking World Cancer Day. We just had an in-depth discussion with Vikas Mathur, who spoke from the insurance side, and personal finance expert Harsh Rungta, which I hope enabled our individuals watching with a lot of financial ammunition to fight this dreaded disease. And now, of course, I would like to bring on board a special guest, Shubha Maudgal, the ED of Special Projects with the Cancer Patients Aid Association, to talk then about life after cancer, after we've had those individuals emerging stronger and victorious, battling cancer. So Shubha, thank you so much for joining in, and my compliments to you and your team for the amazing work you guys do in helping cancer patients, in helping cancer victims, not just during the treatment, but more importantly also to assimilate them back into society. And I suppose that's extremely key, right? Because, you know, even if unfortunately one emerges victorious, battles cancer, assimilation into society sometimes gets difficult. You're not able to go back to your job full time. You're always in tenterhooks. So I want to start off first with the kind of work you guys at the CPAA or the Cancer Patients Aid Association do, right from an individual who's just been diagnosed to cancer, and then of course we can talk about the other individuals as well.
So Cancer Patients Aid Association is a 50-year-old NGO, and we've been working through these 50 years to plug the gaps in what we feel is the problem that makes cancer a bigger disease than it needs to be in India. So what we are working on is to address the myths and the misapprehensions and the stigma that is associated with cancer in India. So we start by giving awareness lectures to remove those doubts. Beyond that, we are also doing a lot of work for the early detection of cancer. So we hold screening camps at different places, addressing those where there is a greater chance of finding people who have cancer. Then our work is to support the treatment of cancer patients end to end. So it's not a one-time help, but to ensure that people get treatment throughout their cancer journey. Beyond that, we are doing a lot of work for rehabilitation of the cancer patients at our own end, and also trying to, as you said, get them to assimilate in a meaningful fashion back into the jobs that they had earlier. Beyond that, we are also doing a lot of advocacy work to try to control the costs of drugs, also to ensure that the COTPA rules, anti-tobacco rules, are enforced in Indian society. And we are also doing a lot of research work, basic research, as well as research into psychosocial effects of cancer on the family and the patient themselves.
Shubha, you know, I was just going through your website, and you have this wonderful and very innovative scheme of sort of connecting a donor with needy patients. Unfortunately, in India, there are a lot of individuals who cannot afford the sort of treatment associated with curing cancer and the ancillary costs as well associated. It's called, I think, Adopt a Patient. If you could share a bit more of those details for all our viewers watching, if they would like to be a donor.
Right.
Or unfortunately, if they are on the other side. So for their benefit, if you could share some of those details.
That's right. So this scheme is called an Adopt a Cancer Patient scheme. And the idea behind it is that a donation to a cancer patient can never be a one-time donation. It has to cover the treatment starting from the beginning right up to the end, and quite often it isn't possible to predict exactly how much it will be. So what we do is we ask the donor to be connected with the patient. So we give them the background about the patient, where they're coming from, what the family members are like, what kind of cancer they have, what the doctor has said about the prognosis, what the likely cost will be. And we ask them to donate the amount of money that the patient requires. Beyond that, we provide photographs. We have meetings from time to time which allows the donor to actually meet the patient. And this is very good from both sides, because the patient also feels that there's someone out there who actually cares for them enough to help them, a perfect stranger. And of course, the donor feels that they're helping a person in a very personal way. So this program has been run right from the inception of CPA in 1969, and even today many corporates are helping us to support the treatment. We are especially active in the municipal hospitals like Wadia, Sion, KEM, and so on. And we ensure that all children especially get all the financial help that they require to avoid abandonment of treatment in between.
All right. Shubha, I would like to talk to you then more about the rehabilitation bit, because I know you do a lot of work over there. And yes, while you know, had a battle with the disease, the other battle is then money, right? I mean, to be frank, even after you emerged victorious, at the end of the day, you've got to eat, you've got to feed your family, and more often than not, unfortunately, a whole chunk of the money has gone away in treating yourself, in treating the disease. And also, of course, we spoke about job opportunities, which I'll come to later. But yeah, what exactly are the challenges then that these patients who approach your association, who approach your organization face when it comes to, you know, the post survivorship phase, I mean, the post treatment phase?
So first, during treatment itself, there are two problems that come up and which continue then into the survivorship phase. There are patients that are coming from out of town, because even today, patients prefer to come to Tata Memorial Hospital for their treatment. So people will come from long distances, not realizing that this disease isn't like other diseases where they'll come, meet the doctor, take the medicine, and then go back. It ends up becoming a long, drawn-out treatment, including chemotherapy and radiation and surgery. So they end up having to spend a lot of money towards travel, towards food, towards accommodation in an expensive city like Bombay, where they often don't have relatives to support them. So CPA had started the rehabilitation program in 1987. This is active in our center, which is at the Anand Niketan at Mahalakshmi. We have a studio where at any point of time 100 to 150 patients are given jobs. This involves screen printing, painting of diyas, statues, they make boxes. So while this gives them a job, a salary, it's a very sympathetic place to be, because there are other patients who are going through the same kind of an experience. Also, when they need to go for chemotherapy or for any other treatment, they are given leave to go. We also help with any other costs that are involved. Maybe they require nutritional supplements, or their children need help with education. Whatever are their needs, they become our patients. We cover the cost of their medicines completely. So, so this job helps patients who have lost their means of livelihood, either because they're coming from out of town or because the treatment itself has made it impossible for them to keep their existing job. It gives them a feeling of self-esteem and dignity in being able to continue to support their family. The side effect of that also is that during this period, they pick up crafts that become useful. So we are making, you know, the toilet bags and the laundry bags, the linen and so on that is being used at leading 5-star hotels all over Bombay. So they get the confidence, they know what kind of standards are required. They understand about tailoring, about embroidery, silk screen printing, and so on.
So you know,
they are able
I want to put in a quick
their
question, Shubha. You know, you've had so many victim survivors come to you, and I just want to end this interview with a ray of hope for all the individuals watching who may perhaps be battling the disease right now. How have you seen cancer survivors essentially emerge victorious, not only after battling the disease, but also getting back on with their lives, getting back to their old jobs maybe? And if you would like to share, you know, some inspirational tips for all our viewers.
So I've been with CPA now for 20 years, and I've seen many patients. So many, we had one person who had come from Calcutta, and his son was the one who was unwell. So we helped him to set up a small unit manufacturing socks, and he's gone on to become a really big entrepreneur in Bombay. We've had childhood cancer patients who have gone on, they've gone through the treatment, been completely cured of their disease. They've had their completed their education, and some of them have actually come back. So you'll find that story on our website also. Of this boy called Chirag, who came back, and he comes back every year for our Rose Day program in September, and he gives a donation every year to us to help other patients who are struggling the way that he used to when CPA was able to help him.
Shubha,
so we've had many success stories.
I'm a little short on time, but I suppose and I hope that these stories will inspire our individuals out there, that if they can do it, even you can do it. And once again, my compliments, Shubha, to the amazing work you guys at the CPA are doing. All the very best. And on that note, we'll wrap it up on this very special edition of The Money Show. Many thanks for watching.